Hello. Hi, Juliana.
Hi, Nada. How are you?
Good, good. How are you doing?
Great. Just, happy to be here at Thunderwatch. I love it every time you invite me. So thank you so much. And just recovering from the climate weeks, Houston. And of course, Jason has also been in New York. So it's a
It's a
lot to
lot.
unpack.
Yeah, it's a lot back to back. Climate week here. We did a little episode of Thunderwatch last week. Maisha joined me. It was a fun packed week. I think a lot of people who came out of town were kind of surprised at the turnout.
Yeah,
And I think we're seeing the same thing in New York Climate Week from last week. That people are showing up, the conversation's still going, and there's activity.
definitely. Our pilotathon was the biggest one yet. I know some people were talking about us being a great anchor for the week. Definitely, our numbers double from our grand opening and first pilotathon. So very excited about that. The venue was great. Of course, we also had two tracks in the afternoon, which made things more interesting. We had the international pitch competition and the panel about SAF and CCUS in Latin America. That was well attended. I can't wait to see what next year can become when we have also two parallel tracks and all of these companies pitching and showcasing. It was a blast. I really had a blast. I'm still recovering from it.
Yeah, exactly. Me too. I think I was telling the team that my foot. I injured my foot because we were on our feet a lot, running around, and realized that I definitely didn't have the best shoes, so I need to get rid of those shoes.
Yes, you need shoes for peloton. It is a marathon,
It's a
so
marathon, okay?
and of
Exactly.
course we have our mascot Lizzie that is taking over social media, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, I have a couple of pictures where she's still recovering. She hasn't
Mhm.
recovered from Climate Week yet.
Yeah, yeah. No, so we had, yeah, for those of you who maybe weren't there, we have our mascot, which is like our thunder lizard. And she showed up as a surprise guest at
Yes, VIP.
a surprise VIP. So she definitely had to be center stage with everything that we did. Um, yeah, and you have to join our future events to know more about who's this Lizzie person, okay?
Yes, definitely.
Let's also talk about, during Climate Week, we also announced our founding partners for Energytech Nexus, and today we've officially put on the press release. So, talk to us about that.
Yes, it's been a long time in the making. Our global founding partners are really the corporate partners, and not only the corporate partners. I'm very proud to say that we also have startups and scale ups that have joined us as founding partners, because Energy Tech Nexus was created by founders for founders, so it only made sense for us to also have startup scale ups as part of the mix. Like any good initiative that works for the entrepreneurial ecosystem does. So, we have revealed 19 of the global founding partners. I believe we are at 21, but two couldn't make the finish line to get the approvals necessary internally for being in the press release. So we will have to announce them separately. But we can go through it and start with, in chronological order, like we always do, because we care about who comes in first. Chevron Technology Ventures was there since the beginning when Energy Tech Nexus was barely an idea, and Kamal Ambarchi and his team have been amazing. And then not only they started with this global founding partnership, but they extended it to Chevron, the whole Chevron, and we've been glad to have people from all kinds of teams at Chevron help us, not only with Pilotathon, but with Copilot, our accelerator program, and also with any kinds of requests we need for our members. So really glad to have them. Oxy, again, Occidental Petroleum started last year with us. We decided to only announce it when we had a critical mass of founding partners and at our big event, the Pilotathon. But both Chevron and Oxy started promoting us and sponsoring us really early with John Willis, who leads the Low Carbon Ventures, really at the very beginning, as a great support for us. Then comes in Repsol. Repsol is pretty is a newer partner, but they come at the highest level. So we are very glad to have them. It's pretty interesting. They're trying to come in with their ventures team. We had the ventures team coming in from Madrid for the Paletathon and for the whole Climate Week. They want their portfolio companies to have more presence in the US. Some of them are actually ready to exit, so we're gonna help them with that. And they're trying to figure out the feasibility of a venture arm here in the US. So we are very excited to help them with that.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
it was great to see the senior leadership that they
yes,
sent here, for
yes.
Climate Week the whole week, and I saw them. Obviously, they were
They were everywhere.
at it.
We had Marta and Ricardo with us, but for Sarah Week, their head of the ventures team, Gemma, will be coming. So we will surely have her present at our energy tech market and at many other things. So they're gonna bring the highest level people. And again, this partnership happened through the ventures team that is in Spain, and they flew in. But one of the things they want to do is expand a little bit like CTV did with Chevron, expand the partnership to all the teams in Repsol that are also in Houston, like Chevron Renewables, sorry, Repsol Renewables, and then the rest of the team that are at the Woodlands. So very excited about, extending that partnership and making it happen also with the other teams that are Houston based, and helping their portfolio companies, two out of which came also to the Climate Week, and it was pretty amazing. What the expectations are. Some of them are actually moving to the U.S. One of the entrepreneurs is moving to Dallas, and I know that the person running a living is also coming back and forth. So very very interesting companies, and we are very eager to help them too.
Yeah, no, that's great. And then we have Latham & Watkins, again, really coming at the highest level for us as one of the law firms who is very active within this space.
Yeah, I think Scott has been wonderful, not only with everything they've done for us, but also how engaged they are with our companies, with all of this office hours. And I know that the partnership is already paying off, because it looks like they got a couple of customers out of
Yeah,
those hours. So we love that. We
it
love.
must be paying off because Scott is down here almost every month. He's based out
Yes.
of Austin. We have dedicated office hours where he comes and gives a general presentation, and then our companies get 15 minutes with him, and they can bring in any questions and concerns. And he's really building a solid relationship with the companies here, and the feedback has been amazing.
Amazing. They're great, and I love how, we in general don't like putting logos out there, just because sometimes the logos create the wrong expectation that is only about marketing. I mean, these logos in this press release and social media that we have are really really engaged with our members. So we are very proud, and that's why we've been working for some, I think, with some of them for a year,
Mhm,
and still, they were okay with us waiting to release this press release, and have their names out there officially. And they extra officially, they've been working a lot with our members.
mhm, mhm. And then we have a bank, BBVA.
BBVA is very dear to my heart, because it's the bank where I am from. It's the bank from Bilbao, Vizcaya, Argentaria. My late granddad used to work there, and he started as a bank teller and went to the highest level of the bank. So BBVA was in Houston for many years, then got sold to PNC, the commercial part of the bank. And I was very proud when last year they decided to come back to be the sustainable bank for the energy transition, and have a lot of presence in Houston since they started last year with a team of three. Now they are 100. They have amazing new offices, and they really want to help us with project finance for some of our companies, but more than anything, making sure that the path to bankability for our members is there before they're ready, and what are the red flags to avoid to be able to get a good path to bankability, and how they can teach us how to get there, and how we can teach them in terms of new technologies, and de-risking those new technologies so that they can deliver on debt, venture debt, project finance. So it's a very symbiotic relationship, and I'm very proud of that one.
Hmm. Great. Yeah. So, and you can see the rest of the list there. I don't know if you want to go through each one of them or pick out a few. I know Goodwin, again, another law firm, really active in helping startups fundraise and build their financial structures. Have been supporting us since day one,
Yes.
and so it was great to see that they were also willing to come on as a founding partner and support us again this year. We have Anders Hauser or Mazabal.
Yes.
Social Pro is new also, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I would say Anders Heiser and Ormazabal came also last year.
Mm-hmm.
With Ormazabal, they have a presence here also, not only in Spain. They're very interested in anything that has to do with microgrid and power. And they have put already some innovation challenges out there that our members and some even non-members of ETN are trying to figure out whether they are eligible for them. They have a chief innovation officer that is very, very hands-on. So we are very excited about, what pilots we can do with them. They have money to fund the pilots. So we are very hands-on with them too. And just Heuser, the same thing, they are pretty amazing. They came in last year, also supported us at our grand opening. Mercy Renteria is the one leading the charge there. She's our internal champion. And not only they're helping our companies that have attended some of their amazing trainings in hydrogen and others, but they're also connecting us with many of their customers. So it's the kind of partnership that is not only about them as a company, it's about how they bring their whole network. Then we have Sunnypro and SDX, both of them one in the technology side of things. Sunnypro by being consulting in anything that has to do with mergers and acquisition and cybersecurity. So we're going to use them also for our Mentad and Sapphire platform in AI for matchmaking. SCX Next, they are amazing. They are global. They're also helping us with our AI platform and our website that is going to be very much improved pretty soon. And then after that, we have other ecosystem players, other SDOs, and we love that, that it's not only about the corporates, not only about the scale-ups and startups, but also about other ecosystem players like EarthX. EarthX is amazing. For those of you who don't know about EarthX, they have the biggest Earth Day celebration in the world. The events they put together for the whole Earth Week are pretty impressive out of Dallas. If you haven't attended their events, there's something else. So I really recommend you attend. We are a partner. We've been a strategic partner for a while for their EarthX Capital Summit, doing that EarthX Week. They have EarthX TV. They're amazing, and we can't wait to bring more of our companies to EarthX. In April. Many of them got amazing opportunities, and we're very glad to continue to be a strategic partner for them and have them as a founding partner for ETN. Greenbackers is also another kindred spirit. They have an investment capital arm. They do a lot of fundraising. They are headquartered out of Europe. Well, actually, they are in the UK, and they invited us last July to their big event. We were mind blown for what we saw in London. Amazing companies. Some of them have become members of ETN since then. we like so much the partnership we're having with them. We feel like, we have the strong connections in the US. They have the strong connections in Europe, and a lot of our companies in wind and solar are very eager to get connected in the UK and Europe. And they got a lot of great introductions thanks to them. And of course, Mark Hannigan was our MC for the last part of the pilotathon. I knew he would do great because I saw him in action in London, and I was like, wow, we really need to have him for our pilotathon. So really great to have them as a founding partner too. And of course, we have Greentown Labs. Very, very, very proud of this founding partnership. Was a long time in the making. We also had a press release about our partnership last week. And we are very proud to be back at Greentown, and not only to have a space there, but to take care of their investment program, to be able to launch our AI platform there and help all of their members with fundraising services. So it's going to be a lot of fun being back there too. And then I'm extremely proud of the 6 last founding partners, because they are scale ups and they are companies that we helped when they were tiny thunder lizards. Nobody was paying attention to, and we saw them, and we helped them grow, and now they want to give back to us. And having Senvita, Cowell, SGS, Reftera, ISR Energy, and Collide on board means a lot. And of course, I think most of you have heard about them. Senvita being in the biotech space, genetically modifying carbon and protein microbes and proteins to absorb carbon. Cowell is in the AI space with applications in anything that has to do with artificial vision and methane detection, wildfire detection and prevention. So very interesting. Now they are also expanding to Europe. They were doing amazingly well in Latin America. We helped them expand to the US, and now we're helping them expand to Europe, where they're doing incredibly well. They came to our first mission in Bilbao at the Energytech Summit last year, and since then they've kept on expanding there. So a great success story for our collaboration there. Then XGS Energy, we're in geothermal. Nada, you want to talk a little bit about them?
Yes, XGS again, they're a scale up in operation, started based out of California and now moving to Texas, because that's where a lot of these projects are also going to be built along with in California. So now they have an office very close to us at 820 Gassner. And then, so they're again a great partner to have on board as they expand their operations in the Texas region.
And Reftera, of course, a Senvita, very long friend of us. They help us put together the ecosystem when Jason and I started with Greentown, and we've continued to help them. During that time, we were able to carve out LOIs for them with Naturgy, one of our founding partners then, and those LOIs were instrumental for them to raise funding with SCF Ventures and others. They also expanded to Europe with Patrick Flam moving to London. Also part of the mission to Bilbao on the first year last year. So a lot of great things happening, and we're very glad to have them as a founding partner too. And then, of course, we have ISR Energy with Byron Lofton. He's been a serial entrepreneur with 2 of his companies, always helping us, and they're having one of the biggest battery development in town. They're going to start with geothermal pretty soon. So I'm always very excited about what they do, because it's not only about the technology they deploy, it's about how they are structuring it with project finance, with business models that work. I think ISR Energy really epitomizes innovation finance. And there's no way scale ups and startups can make it if they don't know how to make the numbers work. And the team ISR Energy, they do that with a lot of expertise. So there's a lot to learn from them.
Hmm.
And last but not least, Nada, I don't know if you want to talk about our
Yeah,
partnership.
Clyde, previously known as Digital Wildcatters, we've had a partnership with them even since before, we formed Energytech Nexus. We started off basically our
Podcast.
podcast,
Yes.
Energy Startups, with them. They gave us the platform to bring these startups in and build our network, out of which we formed, obviously with our background in Greentown Labs, formed Energytech Nexus. And so Collide's been a supporter. So now they're working on, moving away from just podcasting in a media company to really focusing on providing knowledge sharing data services that are like AI powered, to the oil and gas industry. So that's what they're focused on, if I understand correctly, from the way they've pitched to me previously, is like they help you basically automate a lot of your data, so that it's easily accessible, and employ AI to do that in the LLM models. That's really, the way we're using ChatGPT for the internet, you can use Collide for your internal data, in a way that's safe, and it makes unstructured data that usually sits in silos is not used. It makes it usable and accessible. So they raised I don't know if it was a series seed round with Mercury Fund, and so they're expanding at a really fast pace, and we're just really happy to have them support us, as we also would like to support them. So this, creating this list of people, Juliana, I know was a lot of work, because it's not only like getting them to agree to be our founding partners, we got to get agreements from legal.
Legal, marketing, all of those logos are approved, pre-approved, making sure. And that's why some of them that we still have, some of them have gone through legal, but they haven't gone through marketing, or so there's a few others that are coming in, and unfortunately couldn't cross the finish line in time for Climate Week. But we're still going to qualify them as founding partners because they started the whole process before this, so they will get there. And for those of you who we have discussed with, or we're still in conversations, or you're interested in becoming part of this group, we're still on time to make another release. But also, more importantly, there's the founding partnerships are becoming now, once we release the last batch of founding partners, are becoming programmatic partnerships. That means that are yearly partnerships. So you might not be in time, or well, there's still time, but if you don't rush enough, or you don't have this kind of inclination, you can still engage with us on a yearly basis if that's what suits your model. So very eager to continue exploring partnerships that are going to help in any kind, investors, pilots, grants, philanthropic, all of this we need
Talk
for our
to us
network.
about, why do we do these partnerships, whether they're founding or like yearly basis, like what's the benefit to like our companies, our startups, but also like what do we offer to these corporates? Why should they become members?
Yeah, I think there's we do a lot of customer discovery with these partners. Some of them have very clear ideas on how they want our global energy tech hub to help them. Like Repsol, for example, as I mentioned, they're very eager to figure out whether an expansion to the US is the way to go, and how their companies can do. So that's very clear. For some others, is more about having access to our network of entrepreneurs and investors and scale ups. For some others, they really want to do pilots, or Mozaval, that's what they want to do with us. They want to make sure they find companies to develop technologies or co-develop technologies with them. And that's the beauty of all of this, that we love figuring out what the value add component with these partners is. But what is sure is that there's always a value add for our members. Otherwise, we are not in the game of just having a logo there and not doing anything with the partners. This is, as I mentioned, a very hands-on partnership. So all of these companies and scale up startups are there because they bring added value to our members in some way or another. Sometimes it's also um, even about hiring people. We got STX Next, they're hiring. They want to know if within our network we have some talent. Same thing for some of our big companies like Cowell and Cemvita. They've been hiring, and I love when they reach out to us, and then we have so many success stories about people who found their new job or their new board seat or any mentorship or consulting just because of us putting them together. And that's the power of the network.
Mm. Yeah, no. So it's amazing, and like you said, we're still accepting founding partnerships. There are 2 or 3 big announcements that is going to come up in the next month or so about people who are yet to be added on this list. But if you want to also be part of our founding membership, please reach out. We will make space, and if it's not founding membership, it's our yearly membership. And now as we're moving on into the new year, and what we're seeing, the advances that we're seeing with AI and LLM models and machine learning, we also have our own product called Mentat that we're working very closely with our partners and offering it to them so that they can speed up their process of technology scouting and make sure that they get access to new technologies at a faster rate, and kind of save them time internally of how much time they might spend on finding new energy technologies, whether that's in renewable or just in energy tech. And that will be focused a lot more on more mature technologies that are ready to be implemented right now and piloted into your company. So we're really excited about that. And in the coming weeks, you will hear more from us on that. But for now,
Definitely. But what is great is that they're global. We wanted to make sure we had a global footprint, and all of these companies can not only help in the US, but they can help wherever they are. um, Out of our 120 members, we have quite a lot that are actually not headquartered in the US. They are in Canada, Europe, Latin America.
Mhm.
And some of our companies, as I mentioned, are exploring Europe, are exploring other, as an entrepreneur and as a startup that has a big vision to become a thunder lizard. You need to make sure you have a global footprint, and those founding partners that are global too are going to help with that. So pilots can happen anywhere. Repsol has an amazing program for pilots in Spain. We have pilot plants all over. Some of new partners that we're going to be announcing are also doing their pilots in other places in the world. So we're happy to provide those opportunities to our members too.
Yeah. So if you're a startup, reach out to us within this space, anywhere in the world, really, anywhere in the US. We have something to offer for you, especially if you're interested in getting access to the industry in Houston and the facilities in Houston that might be perfect for you to pilot. And then if you're a corporate, also reach out to us if you're interested in knowing more about opportunities to collaborate. So with that, I know we had a question here on, what's the company that brings insight out of unstructured data? I responded, that's Collide. Again, check out Collide and what they're doing. The recording of this is available on LinkedIn as long as, I don't know, LinkedIn dies, but it's going to be there on LinkedIn. But it also
Yeah,
easy.
that would be a catastrophe.
Yeah. But you can also access the recording on YouTube. So that's an easy
Yeah.
way. You can go on Energytech Nexus channel, and there you have all our lives are in one space. So if you ever want to go back or see what happened in that week or what we spoke about, you can go access that. So with that, we're going to say
And
thank you.
we have lunch and work Wednesday at the Nexus, right? This Wednesday.
Is it this Wednesday? Okay, let me check my calendar.
Yeah, I want
Yes.
to make sure that if people want to see us in person and get free lunch from us,
Yeah.
where check our calendar at energytechnexus.com. It's there on events, so you can check the Luma and register.
And Scott Craig is
And
going to be there from Latham and Watkins this Wednesday.
Again, if you want to talk to Lathan and Watkins, and they are pretty amazing, Scott, partner level, will be
Mhm.
there. So we're not having just anyone. We have the real deal. And I know that his office hours are pretty amazing, and they get booked pretty fast. So come join us, get lunch on us, get to talk to Lathan and Watkins. And, we if you're interested, or you don't have to be a member to come, if you're interested in exploring any kind of everything we do a lot of free events like this one. But if you want to talk to the rest of the community, or explore membership, or we have all kinds of membership, not only for startups but also for professionals who are in transition, trying to figure out what's next for them, for investors with our new investor program. So come join us and get to hang out with us.
Yeah, and we'll be also doing more events at Greentown Labs, given our partnership with them. So watch out for that, and to know the
So we're
latest.
still in Gessner, at the Energy Corridor, and now we also have a space at Greentown, which is great because we love having access to that part of town, to make sure that we don't miss on anybody who needs our help. So we're Houston is an hour away from Houston, so we need to be a little bit spread out, and making sure we're present at different sides of town.
Yeah, yeah, good. Well, thank you so much, Juliana, for joining us.
Thank you, Nada, for having me, and see you all pretty soon, either at Work Wednesday at Nexus, or Determined to Lead, which is an amazing program, very successful, that Nada put together.
Yeah, so that's also coming up on not this Friday. I think the next one is 17th of October. So that's going to be focused on AI and skilling ourselves. So we should definitely all try to be there. Again, go on Luma and follow Energytech Nexus there, and there you'll see all our upcoming events.
Awesome.
Thank
See you
you.
soon.
Bye.
Bye.